Let's go to this now. Non-governmental group Mining Affected Communities United in Action has denounced what it calls government's prioritization of wealthy elites at the mining Indaba in Cape Town. This is a community-based united front of mining affected communities formed in response to the need to protect the integrity and interests of the people impacted by mining. Now, in fact, let's now speak to Christopher Rutledge, who is joining us live now. Christopher, thank you so much for your time. Firstly, let's just start with, one of the important things that comes out from the statement released and what you have been saying as an organization is that the voices of the communities continue to go unheard. And I wonder, in 2024, how is it still that these very critical voices are still not being heard?
Indeed. Thank you very much for having us. Indeed, it's something that we are flabbergasted by, actually. We have gone to enormous extents to try and engage with the government around the issues that affect communities, because we produced research reports. We have produced evidence for them. We have protested. We have gone to them countless times. We have emailed them. We have written to them. We have phoned them. Communities are just so frustrated because the same president, the same government that stood at the mining Indaba with business and spoke about how it was important for communities to be involved and for nobody to be left behind, those are the same people who are not engaging with communities. They're not talking to communities. The minister refuses to engage with us. The DMRE refuses to engage with us. The Parliamentary Portfolio Committee refuses to engage with us. We've invited all of them to come and listen to 300 representatives of mining affected communities. And when I say representative, I just don't mean people. I mean people who have a constituency, people we have workshop communities prior to the summit that we're having today. And, there's a mandate that has emerged from this. And we said to them, come and listen to what people are saying. Because in July last year, when they held a summit with business again, they never had community representatives there. And we protested and we told them that this is not acceptable. So we said to them, why don't you join us? And we have a joint summit where you can listen to communities and understand what they are saying. They haven't responded to us. Instead, they're at the mining Indaba with business people sipping on champagne and going on as if our country is not in a state of inequality, in a state of disaster, in a state of impoverishment. It's like this government is so disconnected from the reality of this world that I wonder if there's even sense in their heads, because certainly from where we're sitting, this government is not listening and they're not interested in the poor and the marginalized.
So I was going to ask you, but you say that you haven't heard back. So can we take this as you've not been given reasons as to why these voices that you say you want to be heard are not heard?
Absolutely. So, for example, we wrote last year already. We wrote to the Department of Mineral Resources, we wrote to the Minister, we wrote to the Portfolio Committee. This year, I tried to phone the Minister, I phoned the Portfolio Committee chairperson, Mr. Luzipo, and he said, yes, he'll come back to me. He still hasn't come back to me because mining communities are not important for them. What's important is business and getting their piece of the pie. So we spoke to the Minerals Council, even they don't want to come. So there is this collusion between the parliamentary part of our state, the government part of our state, and business. And they are colluding about how do we get more profits for the investors and shareholders that are not in this country. So they're siphoning out all the money out of the country and telling you and me and the people of South Africa that you are benefiting. And the truth is that mining affected communities are living in poverty. They are living in desperation. And our people are so frustrated.
So I take it then, listening to the president opening the mining in Indaba, saying that there's a lot of responsibility that lies on the companies that come into these communities as far as development and all of that is concerned in these communities. It's not something new. We've seen it over time, and we've seen communities also complain about this. You're saying that there's been no improvement in that regard, despite the work that we've also seen in the mining charter?
Absolutely. You know, the president is an absolute liar, if I may say that myself. The president, when he came into power, when he came into the position, one of his first speeches that he made was, he used our slogan. He said, when we speak about mining, we must make sure that there is nothing about us without us. That's the slogan of Makua. That was, what was it? 8 years ago, I can't remember now exactly, but it was many years ago. So at that point, we were excited. We said, yay, we have a president that will listen. All this time down the line, the president has not once engaged with us. The minister refuses to engage with us. His departments refuse to engage with us. The parliament refuses to engage with us. You know, I don't know. This is a lying government. There's no truth. There's no honesty. There's no caring. There's no listening. All the things that they say that they do, it's absolute lies, and the proof is there. And I challenge the minister, the president, the parliament. I challenge them to engage us in a debate, and we'll show you the proof. We'll show you all our engagements with them, all our pleas and our cries and our messages, our phone calls, our letters, our protests, everything. And yet, we're still in a situation where they just don't give a hoot, because you know what? Those are the poor and the marginalized. They can just go and suffer. So long as we have our generators, we've got our champagne, we've got our cars and our security, and, you know, we're happy. I mean, that's just disgusting. It's really wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong.
What happens now?
Now, we unfortunately left with no alternative. But we are going to have to build a fighting movement. We are going to have to fight. Because speaking
How do you
help.
fight?
We submitted a petition to Parliament, 50,000 signatures. We said to them, yeah, come and listen what the people are saying. The people want a say in their government. And they didn't listen. So how do we fight? We've got no other alternative. We are going to be disruptive. We are going to do what it takes to make them listen and make them hear. Now, if that means that we have to engage in civil disobedience, then so be it. Because this government cannot continue in this fashion as if they are truthful, as if they are caring, as if they are really a government of the people. It's an absolute lie.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Christopher. Do appreciate it. That is Christopher Rutledge, the Makua Executive Director, and that is the Mining Affected Communities United in Action.